looking right at us. Hummingbird. No one's in here. Let's see if anybody comes around the corner. If I could be quiet. I was just petting Cal in here. He must be out here. Well, hello everybody. Good morning. Cal, you went right over here and laid down after I left you in there, huh? Willow, you did too, because you come running in there to see me. What you girls doing, huh? It's okay, you don't gotta get up, Cal. She's my 7-year-old American registered Alpine, who I'm still undecided. I wanted to breed her back to, there goes a squirrel. I wanted to breed her back to Zeus this fall, but since I've got a surprise for everybody, and I'm still not mentioning, I'm not sure who I want to actually breed her to. I might breed her back just to Prince, possibly. And I have Willow here I'm going to breed to Lancelot. I'm going to breed her back to Lancelot and hopefully get a daughter out of Lancelot and her. But my goal is to get another daughter at least out of Zeus. So I'm not sure if I should just go ahead and breed her to Zeus. And then hopefully next year I could breed her then to either Lancelot or Prince. To try to get daughters out of them, out of her. Because like I said, my surprise is something that I did 2 years ago, because Miss Willow here, she's a 2-year-old, and this has to do with a litter mate of hers and then of a daughter of hers. So my surprise is, which I'm just going to mention right now, is that those who are following this channel would know about Miss Scarlet, who was Willow's litter mate out of Ariel and Zeus, and then Miss Jules, who is out of Cal and Zeus, that I gave to my dad. Well, I had messaged him about a week or so ago, and there's Miss Old Odessa. She is officially 14. She has had a birthday. She's 14 years old, retired. That's why she gets her own pin here, so she isn't bullied around or anything. But yeah, I messaged my dad about a week ago, I think it was, and asked him, just asked if I could have him bring back Scarlet and Jules so I could breed them back to the bucks that aren't related to them and keep daughters out of them for at least 2 breeding seasons. And he said, yep. And then the next day I get a text message and he's just stated, you know, my truck I don't believe would make it down there. I'm selling out on everything. He stated that he just got too many goats and that I can get back Scarlet and Jules. And I am so tickled pink. Oh my goodness, I am so tickled to get her sister back and then her daughter back. 2 does that I originally were going to keep, but my dad wanted to be able to start off with some pregnant does and have milk the following season, so I thought, you know what, I'll go ahead and give him these 2 does. Even though I was not planning to even get rid of them, they would have been here. But I get them back, and I'm so excited. So that's the reason why I'm undecided if I should go ahead and breed her again to Zeus and hope for a beautiful sun glue, because he likes to throw sun glues with her. Or breed her back to Prince and hope for a chocolate sun glue like he threw with her this year, but it was a buck. But if I could get a daughter, that would be awesome. But like I said, Cal is 7. She'll be 8 when she kids again. But she was a late baby in the season. I think her birthday is actually in August. I think. I would have to look at her paperwork again. But she's 7 this year. She's 2. She's 14. Zeus is 6, going on 7. Lancelot is 4 going on 5, I believe. Or 3 going on 4. I can't remember. And Prince is 2 going on 3. So let's see if we can find them boys in here. They might be up and around. No? Maybe they're in the pen. Or in their hut. Oh, my milk thistle. Look at that thing. It's like 8 foot tall. My husband said he thinks it's about actually 9, but that is a huge thistle. Tall. We got a couple right here too, milk thistles. There's one right there. There's one right here. There's another tall one right there. I thought I had some more right over in here, but they're mainly right there in this little section. A lot of briars. They got thorns, really big thorns on them. But yeah. Mr. Bam Bam's right there laying down, chewing his cud. I can hear. There's the boys. Lancelot. You guys just keeping cool? There's Zeus and Prince. Zeus is the black one, Prince is the brown one. Lancelot's right there. He's the white one. Aren't you, boy? Yeah. Them flies bugging you boys, huh? Them flies just bugging you boys? Hi, Lancelot. What you doing, man? Huh? What you doing, handsome man? What you doing? Huh? What you doing? Prince, what you doing, boy? You gonna come here and see me too? We're gonna say hello? Are you gonna say hello? Say, I got a couple girls who are gonna be bred. Scarlet, I'm actually gonna breed to Prince for sure. Jules will be bred to Lancelot. And like I said, I think I'm gonna breed Willow to Lancelot too. And then Cal to Zeus, so then all 3 of my bucks have at least a doe or 2 to breed. See, Lancelot, he'll have 2. Zeus would have 1 if I do decide to breed Cal back to him, which I think I might. Or he just won't be bred this year. But with him getting older, I'm not sure exactly what my right decision should be to go ahead and try to get some more daughters out of him on the doe he's not related to, because the 3 other does I have are his daughters. I really like Zeus's daughters. They're just massive milk houses. I've had 1 doe so far that I freshened out of Lancelot that was crossed with Cal, which was a milk house herself. Beautiful markings. I mean, she was just gorgeous. So that is another thing I thought I could do, but I don't know. I'm not sure who I actually want to try to breed to with Cal. I mean, she's getting older. I know that I want to try to retire her after I get daughters out of everybody. Since I already have a daughter out of her and Zeus, I thought, well, maybe I should just go ahead and try to breed her then back to Prince or Lancelot, either or, it don't really matter. And then the following year, do it to the other buck who I don't have a daughter out of and hope for a daughter. And then possibly then retire. I mean, Miss Odessa here, she's still in great body condition, and I guarantee she'll come in heat this fall, just like she came in heat last fall. just like clockwork, driving the boys nuts. There's flies bugging them. And just really trying to be a mama again, but she's done. She's not a mama. She's not gonna be a mama no more. Anyways, I had talked to my husband too about what I was hoping we could do by bringing the girls' pen down to the corner of this, and you know, making it to, we decided to go to that corner possibly. And then what we want to try to do is cut this off all the way to the corner of their pen. We're going to leave that pen up so we can work either Captain or Megan there. And then I'm going to take you guys up and show you exactly what we're thinking of doing with this area up here. So the girls' pen's going to come down to here and come over. I'm thinking to the corner of their pen, and then we're going to go back. So let me walk back there. This video will probably end up being quite long with me just trying to show. Hello, girly girls. Oh, I know. I just want patted, doesn't her? I just want patted. Yes, Cal. You're so beautiful, Cal. Willow, come here. Come here, Willow. You're not going to come see me? She's like, no. I just want to itch my face and eat me some grub. Yes. They always have itchiness right here on the back of their shoulders. Hello, sweetie. I just love her little waddles she got from her daddy. Huh. Because his are right underneath his ears. Zeus's are. Alright, girls, I gotta go finish saying what we're doing here. So, my husband's going to get the skid steer and take these out on the skids and then clean this out. We can't afford to do the dry pour like we're wanting. But we found out that the concrete in that barn's only 4 inches thick. So their pin obviously is going to be the length that it is here, but it will extend. They don't really care for this ryegrass that's in there. But it's just what grew. So this willow will end up coming this way, straight across, probably on just this side of this big oak tree, I think that is, or a maple, I'm not sure. But it'll come in here quite far. We have all the way up to about, my husband wants to keep a rail off of our neighbor's property and ours between it in case we have to deal with like a tree that fell or a limb or something and have to deal with fencing, and we can get a truck or whatever we might need in between the property lines. So this is going to probably, their fencing will probably come back to this tree. I'm not saying that that's exactly where it is. I need to watch where I walk because I'm afraid I'm going to step in a hornet's nest in the ground, and we do have hornets here that like to be in the ground, and that's for sure. My brother is supposed to be getting all this wood. We made a deal with him. He's supposed to be getting it all because he needs it to use for heating, which will be nice when that's gone. But yeah, we're thinking about just adding, which this would add probably another 50 feet or so onto their pen and then go that way. My husband wants to be able to push the boys completely back so they're not even where they are, but behind here he thought he would like maybe the gate to be their gate and then the fencing come back from where they are now. But he wants to put them in this corner, like corner over here. And then Odessa's pin obviously will be for baby pins too. And he wants to put her, set her back further. So her pin might be back here and further that way. And we can make it quite larger because that's where younger babies will go too. Will be similar, or I'll have to put a pin somewhere inside the main pin maybe, I'm not sure. I haven't thought that far yet, but we're going to utilize this half of the property, which goes clear over to the road, and try to get it as best as we can. So our point is that we'll have a fence line coming this way, obviously, with the goats will be mainly back here, besides the girls coming down to like an L shape. But then the horses, Captain and Meg, will have all this down to their pen and over. And then what we're going to do is put a gate where the shed is at, their shed right there. We'll put a gate there so then we can work a horse in there if we have to, mainly Captain, to get him halter broke and everything else, so we don't have Meg always being in your face and stuff like she does. But yeah, this goes quite a ways over there, so we want to be able to take Meg and Captain's pen clear up and over too, which I can take you down the driveway to kind of show you where this pen will end up. Well, look there. There's another great big one right there I'm looking at right now. That's nice to see. But I can't see where our tree line ends. You can kind of see where the sunshine is. That's the road, obviously. So we got quite a ways over that Captain and Meg will end up having. Plus this right here. It's going to butt clear up to the girls' pen and then shoot over. So they'll end up getting, this right here is probably about, I mean this big square right here I'm talking about is probably about 2.5 acres, 2 or 3 maybe. So the goats will end up with probably roughly a 1/2 acre between all of them to 1 acre, and then Captain and Meg will get probably 1.5 acres to them, which should be close enough to where they can just eat grass during the summer months and into the fall and right up to winter, and then all we'd have to do is then feed hay, which we're thinking that would be less cost. And then my husband still wants to do boar goats, but he's like, I was planning to do the boar goats here, but I'm like, you know what? We're going to have a space back in the back, which I'll take you guys back there too to kind of show you what our plans are. But right now, look at them. Willow, are you trying to move Cal? She's not going to move. But, so the horse's pen would come like right here is where I'm kind of talking. It'll come right here. This will be all open because I told my husband, I said this would give us enough to be able to add on to the barn like we were planning to do eventually. We want to add another 20 feet, but my husband was thinking 40 feet, and I want to lean-to on it, obviously. And I was thinking about putting my rabbits in then the lean-to, and then we could have hay storage for hay, and 40 feet worth of building and 20 feet wide would make way more hay space than trying to use them little huts. So we'll take this over. These 2 trees, this one and this one, need to come down before we can do any of this. But this is stuff that's goals that we're hoping to achieve here on the homestead. There's some more milk thistle. You can see it right here. There's a couple of them. Got one really nice one. This one's about 5'9" because it's about my height. These ones are about 6 foot probably. But yep, right here is the corner. So we would probably take this tree out too. And my thing is, here's some wild lettuce. My thing is I need to call around. I have a lumberjack who's just right down the road on Dutch Settlement. And I want to call him, Al Northrup, and see if he would be willing to mill some of these logs. We got all them logs over there. we can mill up 4x4 posts, 6x6 posts, and then some 2x4s possibly. And I'm looking at 2x6s to be able to do on all of our trees that we're going to take down. Because this fall we're planning to put in a pellet burner to heat our home instead of this baseboard, which kills us. You know, when you're paying almost $1,000 a month to heat your house, that's kind of ridiculous with electric. But their pin, obviously, like I said, is the corner, so we're gonna have this pin here, but then it will come off. I don't know if it's gonna come this way and then come up the driveway, but we're gonna come as just a couple feet off the driveway, so probably just on, look at all these beautiful mulleins. They're ready to bloom and they'll be done. But there's a bunch of babies in here too. Well, actually all of them are blooming. But we're going to be about 2 feet off. And then run our fencing down here. And then we got to get down the driveway. And a lot of these trees have got to come out too. So that's why I'm thinking we should use our trees here, since we can't seem to sell any wood, which is fine. Instead of cutting it up for firewood, I think we just need to start cutting it in logs and then see if our neighbor was going by. And then we're gonna come up through on this side of it all the way down to the end of the driveway here, and then go back this way, which I'm going to walk down the road so you guys can see. Like I said, this video is going to be quite long, but just to give you guys, you know, an idea of what we're talking about. So it'll come right to about, it starts to go off, so my husband wants to put some shrubs, some pine shrubs along here and alongside the driveway, so you can't really see in once we get all of our there's my little egg compartment thingy for eggs available. And then we're gonna walk down here so you guys can kind of see what I mean by the hill. You guys can see that it comes way up there, which my husband wants to take most of the trees that are, you know, on at least that side and plant those shrubs, those greenery shrubs that kind of grow tall and skinny. It smells like a skunk. Either that or it's marijuana I'm smelling. I think it's a skunk though. But yeah, the hill up there is pretty big, and then it's still, like, we're still gonna bring it down, but the boys will be, trying to look where I'm at so I can kind of see. Yeah, this right here would be the boys, so it's gonna stop about right where, or the horses will anyways, stop about right where the clearing is, in this that you can see right there, this way. So the boys will be this way. I can hear the farmer in the back. He's getting the alfalfa field finished, baled and stuff. Somewhere in here, this is still our property here. When it starts going down into this gully here, right? Yep, somewhere in here, we have a marker somewhere. Somewhere in here. I think I'm going to just have to come down just a little bit further. I actually think it's down by this tree right here. Yep. Should be right here somewhere, because this is right where the deer come down at. There should be a lath down here somewhere. that says our property. But I'm just saying, like, the boys, they would have this right here. My husband's talking about fencing down it, obviously, and giving all of what we can possibly give them. It might even be a little further over, I'm not sure. Somewhere in here there's a lath that shows our property line. So we'll be at least 20 feet this way from it, and then that's what the boys will get. Which is still, it gives them way more than they have. And that's the goal, is to give everybody more than what they have now. But, like I said, this is a goal, to be able to do this. And to be able to do that just takes money. Well, money can only happen when you're working, but when you got other payments that have to be made, you know, we got a house payment, the Explorer payment, the barn payment, which that's almost paid off. We had just a little, I think we owe just under $2,000 on it, which would be great to get that paid off. One less payment. Then we've got 2 other loan payments that we're making payments on too. So I mean, payments, oh, and the skid steer. Almost forgot about that. That is probably 30 feet up there from where I am down here. Easily to the top of that hill. Easily 30 feet. But yep. So with that being said, that was a little bit of a walk. I got a deer fly buzzing my head. When I used to ride my old barrel horse Joey, I'd always be killing him off in between his ears, right where his bridle would be sitting at on his head. And I would be smooshing him. Fly spray only works so long. And especially trying to spray a horse on top of their head is kind of hard to do. Because you got to kind of close their eyes. Make sure it don't get in their eyes. But I usually put it in my hand and wiped it on him through his ears and stuff. But yeah, I remember deer flies very well. But living in the woods here, you have deer flies like crazy. We got 747 horse flies. Then you got your regular blow flies out here, and then you got regular flies, and then you got gosh darn gnats that like to fly in your eyeballs. It's just, whew. And then we got standing water, obviously, which, you know, attracts mosquitoes. They're not too bad out here. The mosquitoes aren't. As of right now, I mean, we're only in the middle of June. But and then we're planning to then put boar goats on this side of the property going that way, because the horses and Jill is supposed to be on the back side of the house going that way on the property where their pins are supposed to be going. My husband's talking about, you know, just like cutting certain trees down, pulling them out of there, and just fencing it the way that it is. He wanted to be able to bulldoze it, but money obviously is the problem. And even, you know, just to be able to spend the money to buy a dozer and everything, and we've got to have an excavator still to be able to dig up the tree trunks out of there. Then he wants to bulldoze it down so it's flat ground, then seed it, then fence it. So we have a lot more. Jill's in there just trying to keep cool. A lot more goals to try to achieve here on our homestead. That is a work in progress, obviously. my husband has to work to be able to pay our bills, but he also has to work a few extra hours on top of trying to save. Like, these flowers are so pretty. They're like just dabbled everywhere, and I don't even know what they are. Maybe they're just a weed, but I like them. They're a flower. And then Jack and Ariel, and then all of our other little animals that have passed right there. And it's just, yep, the boar goats would go right over on this corner of our property line. Of course, we're going to go, you know, another 20 feet in off the property line, so they'll most likely be about right in here. And the boar goats are supposed to be for other farm income, trying to bring a little more farm income in. I got a gosh darn, there's some more wild lettuce right there. There's a whole bunch right here. That's nice to see. Yeah, right through here up to about probably the corner of the house or so over. They'll get this all the way back, which is a nice straight run for sure. The horses are going to get from the corner of the house that way with Jill. Jill's going to get her own pen because the 4 horses don't seem to care for her very well. And it's not her fault, it's just they're being mean, and we don't want her getting hurt. So she's going to end up getting her own pen. Even though we could put her in there, we've tried it with the 4 so she'd have company, but they like to run her, and we didn't want her getting hurt. So she'll end up getting in her own pen, and then we'll end up purchasing another donkey, whether it be something from the BML where she came from, like to get another one, a wild burro, or we will get one from the auction maybe that needs adopted, or somewhere in that realms. I heard that someone in our local area is buying rocks. This rock right here is in the ground another 3 feet or so. It's huge. This rock my husband pulled up that was up by the barn, it was just peekabooing out of the ground, and he had the 135 we rented from his job, and it ended up being huge. It was like every bit of it is wide by about 3 foot tall. I mean, it was probably about 4 foot tall actually. But that is the goals, the update on the animals, the update on the goats. So I'm excited to say that we are getting back Scarlet, who's Willow's litter mate, who's out of Ariel and Zeus, and then Cal's daughter Jules, who's out of Zeus too. Dixie, Mama Kitty is fixed, and she finally got to come outside yesterday from being in, didn't you, Dix? I'm going to sit down, girl. I'm wore out from walking. Then my son used some of our sponsored rim cleaner stuff, and my husband, when he got home, he was looking at these rims like, dang, they are sparkling, that is for sure. I wish we would have got some like car cleaning stuff, but they sent us rim cleaners and then engine degreaser. So my son put it on the engine too, but that's where I'm planning. That'll be another video. But thank you guys for being here with me today. I appreciate it. I hope you guys can see that what we're trying to do here on our homestead is, you know, something that is a lot better and will benefit our animals to the fullest, and still use most of the area that we have on our property here with just having over 10 acres, and that being said, we're going to utilize almost every bit of it for the animals and ourselves. So thank you guys again. I hope you guys enjoyed this tour of the goals that are going to be updated, and God willing, we'll be able to get the money to be able to start doing our projects that we want to get. First off will be the chickens. We've got to come up with some money to be able to buy the posts for that. I think we've got fencing that we had prior. We just have to be able to get the 94 down there and get it over to my mother-in-law's and start bringing the fence here so I can start cutting it. But yeah, I am excited for you guys to follow us in this journey. We still have a long ways to go before this homestead is finalized, and our views of the way that we want to see our homestead be. And we're going to take you guys along with us as we do this. We've been here now 4 years at this property, and I think what we have done in the last 4 years has really been a lot, with my husband working full-time, and I was working full-time at the time before my health just decided to decrease, and then I'm not able to work no more. And I just hope that you guys can see our vision of how we want our homestead to be. So thank you guys again, and we will see everybody tomorrow. Please subscribe if you're new. Thank you to all our new subscribers. We appreciate each and every one of you that watch our videos, that like them, that comment, and possibly even share. We want to see our channel grow with mine-liked people, and I know that most that are here now are the same. So thank you guys again, and we will see everybody tomorrow. Till next time, God bless.